I never thought the vast, sun-baked plains of West Texas could feel so claustrophobic. But that's exactly what happened when my own blood turned against the little girl I'd chosen as my daughter. My name is Kate, and for years, I navigated the dusty trails of family favoritism like a seasoned ranch hand dodging rattlesnakes. But nothing prepared me for the venom they unleashed on Emma, my adopted 6-year-old, while I lay in a Lubbock hospital bed, fighting to save the baby I'd never expected to carry. It was a betrayal that scorched deeper than any summer drought, forcing me to redraw the boundaries of what family truly means in this wide-open land. Let me rewind to where the cracks first showed, back when life felt as steady as the oil rigs dotting the horizon. I grew up on a modest ranch outside Odessa, the overlooked shadow to my sister Ashley's blazing spotlight. She was the one who could rope a calf with flair and get praised for her spirit, while my precise throws earned only grunts about needing to loosen up. Straight A's? Why not valedictorian? B's for her? Creative thinker. I learned young to fade into the background, to be the reliable one who fixed fences without fanfare. It built resilience, sure, but it also planted doubts that took root like stubborn mesquite. Then came Logan, my steady-as-a-rock husband, a quiet engineer from Amarillo who saw me, not the shadow, but the full light. We met at a county fair, bonding over bad barbecue and shared dreams of a family under those endless stars. But nature had other plans. Years of trying, fertility tests in sterile clinics, and finally the gut punch diagnosis. My odds of conceiving were slimmer than a coyote's shadow at noon. Adoption wasn't a fallback. It was our path forward, chosen with open hearts after mountains of paperwork and soul-searching interviews. Emma entered our lives at 2, a tiny bundle from a foster home in El Paso, her big brown eyes wary but curious. The moment I held her, it was like the desert blooming after rain, vibrant, undeniable. She wasn't ours by blood, but by every choice we made thereafter. Now at 6, she's a firecracker, honest, stubborn, with a laugh that echoes across our ranch like wind through canyons. We never hid her story. Books about adoption sat on her shelf, and she knew orphanage as a distant shadow from tales, not memory. To her, home was the creaky porch swing and Logan's bedtime stories about frontier heroes. At first, my folks, Mom with her endless church bake sales and Dad with his stern rancher's code, and Ashley played nice. What a blessing, they'd say at family barbecues. But I caught the undercurrents, stiff pats on Emma's head, like she was a stray pup, not kin. Ashley's daughter, Lila, same age as Emma, was the undisputed princess. Lila's finger paintings got prime fridge real estate. Emma's got polite nods and quick disposal. Our little rodeo queen, they'd call Lila after a tantrum. Emma? Well-behaved. It stung. Watching Emma shrink a bit each time, trying harder to earn scraps of approval. I told myself our love was enough, that the ranch's open spaces could buffer the slights. Then, miracle of miracles, I got pregnant at 35, defying every doc's prognosis like a wild Mustang breaking free. Joy flooded us, not because Emma wasn't sufficient, but because she'd have a sibling to share sunsets and secrets with. But my family's reaction? Chilled like a norther blowing in. Now you'll know real parenthood, Mom quipped over coffee, her smile too sharp. Ashley smirked. Bet you wish you'd waited. Dad grumbled about complications with outsiders in the mix. Outsider. That's what they reduced Emma to. As if love needed a pedigree like our cattle. The real storm hit at 7 months pregnant. A routine check in Lubbock turned dire, preeclampsia spiking my blood pressure, monitors beeping like frantic coyotes. I gripped the bed rails, terrified for the life kicking inside me. While Logan paced, calling my parents for help with Emma. Just a few days, he pleaded. They agreed. All folksy hospitality. It should have been safe, grandparents watching over their granddaughter in our tight-knit West Texas way. 3 days later, discharged and shaky but stable, we drove straight to their ranch near Midland. Mom opened the door with her usual bustle, but Emma stood frozen in the hallway, her little backpack bulging with toys and her stuffed jackrabbit peeking out. No joyful leap into my arms, just trembling silence, eyes downcast like she'd been caught in a dust storm. Honey. I knelt, arms open. Nothing. Ashley hovered behind with Lila, who smirked like she'd won some secret game. Logan reached for the backpack. Emma flinched. The drive home was torture, Emma staring out at the flatlands, clutching her rabbit. Fun at Grandma's? I prodded. A shrug. Then, whisper soft, do I take up too much room? Logan's grip tightened on the wheel. What? I can be smaller. Don't need toys. My heart shattered like brittle clay. Who planted that poison? She clammed up, but back home, it erupted. Putting toys away, she hurled her rabbit into the bin, sobbing, sorry, I'll make space. Don't send me back. Logan dropped to his knees. No one's sending you anywhere. But the word spilled. Andy said for the real kids. Back to the orphanage. Rage ignited, hot as a branding iron. They hadn't just babysat, they dismantled her world. That night, as Emma slept fitfully, I stood on the porch, stars mocking my fury. Logan hovered. What now? We end this, I said. The splinters of my own childhood favoritism twisted free, Ashley's endless praise. My quiet erasure. Now it targeted Emma. No more. The next morning, with Emma safely at her after-school 4-H club learning about desert wildlife, Logan and I loaded into the truck for the hour drive to my parents' place. The highway stretched like a taut rope, tension humming between us. You sure? Logan asked, eyes on the horizon. I nodded, steel in my voice. I've played small too long. This ends today. He squeezed my hand, solid, like the man himself. Their ranch loomed familiar. Weathered barn, grazing longhorns, Mom's garden blooming defiantly against the arid soil. Inside, the scene was straight out of a bad Western rerun. Mom fluttered with fresh-baked cornbread, Dad in his armchair like a sheriff holding court, Ashley lounging with her husband, Mark, while Lila doodled triumphantly. They froze when I stormed in.
No hellos.
What the hell did you say to my daughter? My voice cut sharp as barbed wire. Mom's smile faltered. Kate? Honey, don't overreact. She just got things twisted. Twisted? I barked a laugh. She came home crying about making space for real children. About the orphanage. Ashley straightened, eyes narrowing. She was hogging Lila's toys. Needed to know her place. Place? She's 6.
Ashley.
Her place is playing. Not fearing exile. Dad grunted. You're hormonal.
Kate.
Blowing it up. Classic deflection. Gaslight me like they'd done since childhood. Mom cooed. We were just setting boundaries. For the baby's sake. Boundaries. I leaned in. You terrorized a child who fears abandonment more than storms. Told her she's clutter. Silence blanketed the room, thick as dust after wind. Ashley's mask cracked. Come on. She's not like Lila. Not blood. There it was, the ugly truth. Raw as an open wound. No denials from Mom or Dad. Just Mark's awkward nod. Clarity hit like sunrise. They'd never accept Emma. just as they'd never fully embraced me. Thanks for admitting it, I said coolly. Mom blinked. For what? For making this easy. Logan stood. We're done. As we left, Ashley sneered. You'll crawl back. But I didn't. Back home, I blocked their numbers. Muted the family chat filled with Lila's milestones and my omissions. I started fresh, a new group with true allies, cousins who'd seen the favoritism, friends from church suppers. Planning the baby shower felt liberating, like shedding old skin. The calls came fast. Mom wailed, "How dare you shut us out? We're blood." Ashley texted venom. Jealous much? Hiding behind that kid. Dad emailed. Family doesn't quit. I ignored it all, focusing on Emma's healing, extra hugs, stories affirming her permanence. But they escalated, bad-mouthing me to kin. Kate's unstable, banning us over nothing. A cousin called. Your mom says you're hormonal. Excluding them. I laid it bare. They threatened to orphanage Emma.
Choque hippled, Jesus. No.
Whispers spread, eroding their facade. The shower shone bright, our ranch aglow with lanterns. Laughter echoing. Emma beamed, helping serve lemonade, called best big sis by all. Then the gate creaked them, uninvited. Mom with a store-bought pie.
Dad stiff.
Ashley with a gaudy gift. Couldn't miss it, Mom chirped. Blood ties. They infiltrated, dropping barbs, Mom to guests. Real babies change everything, Ashley muttered. Not like adopted ones. Tension simmered until a friend knelt to Emma. Excited for your brother? Emma nodded shyly. Ashley whispered loud. She's no real sister. The room iced over. Emma wilted against me. My cousin exploded. What the hell? Guests murmured disgust. Logan boomed. Out.
Now.
Ashley blustered. Misunderstood. But I'd had enough. You just exposed yourselves. Get off my land. They slunk away. Pie abandoned like their dignity. In the aftermath, peace settled. But West Texas gossip travels faster than tumbleweeds. Their story twisted. But truth prevailed. Relatives distanced. Friends shunned them. Ashley's church group whispered. Dad's poker buddies averted eyes. They'd sought to isolate me. Instead, they isolated themselves. Emma began thriving, her questions fading under our unwavering love. The baby arrived, a boy. Wyatt, healthy and squalling. Holding him, with Emma cooing nearby. Family felt whole. But shadows lingered. I pondered reconciliation. Not for them, but for closure. Wyatt's cries filled our ranch house like a new melody, blending with the coyote howls at dusk. Those first weeks blurred sleepless nights. Emma's eager help with bottles. Logan's quiet strength anchoring us. But my family's silence didn't last. The cards arrived. Congrats on the real one. Subtle digs. But I recycled them without reply. Then Mom showed at our door. Pie in hand. Let me see my grandson. Logan blocked. Not today. She left weeping. But it stirred something. Pity. Maybe regret. Nights on the porch. Stars vast overhead. I wrestled memories. Childhood slights. Ashley's new boots while mine pinched. Her adventurous mishaps praised. My caution mocked. It wasn't jealousy. It was erosion. Chipping my worth. Seeing it replay with Emma cracked the dam. But West Texas teaches resilience. Droughts end. Rains renew. Maybe forgiveness could too, if earned. A month post-birth. Ashley emailed. We miss you. Let's talk.
No apology.
Just demands. I ignored. But Dad called Logan at work. Man to man. This feud's foolish. Logan hung up. Pressure mounted from extended kin. Blood's thicker than water.
Kate.
But water sustains life here. Blood can poison wells. Emma's questions returned one evening, as we watched sunset paint the mesas red. Why don't Grandma like me? Her voice small, rabid in lap. I knelt. It's not you.
Sweetie.
Some folks struggle with change. She nodded, but pain lingered. That sparked my shift, not revenge, but resolution. I consulted a family lawyer in Lubbock.
Clarifying boundaries legally, no unlimited visits.
Or we'd file restraints.
Clear.
Enforceable, like fencing off land. Inspired, I reached out via neutral email. Meet at neutral ground. Coffee in Midland. Discuss terms. They agreed.
Desperation evident.
The diner buzzed with truckers. We sat stiffly. Mom teared. We've suffered enough. Ashley huffed. Your overreaction ruined us. Dad grunted agreement. I stayed calm. This isn't punishment. It's protection. What you said to Emma was cruel. Illegal, even emotional abuse under Texas child welfare laws. They balked. We didn't mean harm, but I pressed. Intent doesn't erase impact. Apologize properly. Or stay away. Silence. Then Ashley snapped. She's not ours. Mom shushed her. But damage done. Dad shifted. We were wrong. Scared of change. Mom nodded. Sorry for the words.
Ashley mattered. Fine. Sorry. Hello.
But a start. I outlined rules. Supervised visits only. Therapy for them on favoritism. Prove change, I said. They bristled but agreed, pride dented. Isolation biting. First visit. Park in Odessa. Neutral turf. Emma clutched my hand. Wary.
Mom knelt. I'm sorry. Darling.
Your family. Emma softened slightly, accepting a hug. Ashley stiff. Sorry for the mix-up. Lila pouted, unused to sharing spotlight. Progress crept slow, like spring greening the plains. Wyatt grew chubby. Emma his fierce guardian. Family therapy sessions, mandated by me, unearthed roots, Mom's own favored sibling scars. Dad's rigid, blood-first upbringing from Dust Bowl days. Ashley admitted jealousy over my miracle pregnancy, echoing her easy one. Layers peeled, revealing hurt beneath hate. Not all mended overnight. Tensions flared, Auntie slipping a real grandkid comment. Corrected swiftly. But consistency built trust. Emma bloomed, sharing stories without fear. Logan whispered one night, "Proud of you." I smiled. It's for them, for us. Holidays approached. Thanksgiving on the ranch. I invited cautiously. Behave, or it's over. They arrived humbled.
No barbs.
Mom helped cook, praising Emma's pie crust. Dad taught Wyatt ranch lore, including Emma. Ashley shared toys equally. Lila whining but complying. Laughter flowed. Tentative but real. Yet, vigilance remained. When Ashley reverted once, favoring Lila, I pulled her aside. One more. You're out. She nodded.
Chastened.
Change stuck. Spurred by loss's sting. As winter chilled the West Texas winds, our family thawed unevenly. Supervised gatherings became routine, picnics under cottonwoods, where Emma chased butterflies with Lila, laughter bridging gaps. Mom dove into therapy homework, reading books on adoption, sharing insights. I see now how words wound. Dad grumbled but attended sessions, admitting his old-school views clashed with modern kinship. Ashley's path twisted hardest. Jealousy's roots ran deep, her perfect life cracking under scrutiny. After a session, She confessed privately, I envied your strength, adopting when I couldn't imagine it. Vulnerability humanized her, turning rival into reluctant ally. Lila and Emma bonded over horse rides, favoritism fading like morning mist. Legal clarity helped, no vague threats. Just boundaries enforceable by courts if needed. It empowered me, shifting from victim to guardian. Emma's confidence soared. She drew family portraits including all, but with us central. Everyone learns, she said wisely, echoing therapy talks. Challenges persisted. A cousin's wedding stirred drama, mom slipping into old habits, praising Lila excessively. I intervened calmly. Equal love. Or leave. She corrected, apologizing. Growth. Not perfection. Spring brought renewal. Wyatt's first steps on ranch grass. Emma cheering. We hosted a barbecue. Extended family witnessing change. Whispers shifted. They've turned around. Pride swelled. Not vengeance's thrill, but healing's warmth. One evening, as stars pricked the sky, Mom sat with me on the porch. I almost lost you all. Tears glistened. Fear made me cruel. I nodded. Fear poisons. Love mends. We hugged, fragile bridge strengthening. Ashley's breakthrough came unexpectedly. At a fair, Emma won a ribbon for her drawing. Ashley praised first. Amazing. Kiddo. Genuine.
No es Mirk.
Emma beamed, hugging her. Walls crumbled. Dad bonded with Logan over fence repairs, sharing stories of his youth. Family's what you build, he admitted. Logan clapped his back. Damn right. As summer heat baked the earth, harmony settled. Emma no longer flinched at family mentions. Wyatt babbled to all equally. I reflected. Betrayal's pain forged this, stronger bonds, wiser hearts. But true test, Emma's birthday. We planned big ranch party with games. They arrived bearing gifts.
No hierarchies.
Mom read stories, Dad grilled, Ashley organized races, ensuring fairness. Emma's joy radiated, unshadowed. In quiet moments, lessons crystallized. Forgiveness isn't forgetting, but choosing growth. In West Texas, where land endures harshness, so do people if willing. A year after the hospital scare, our ranch pulsed with life, Emma's giggles mingling with Wyatt's toddles, Logan's whistles as he mended gates. My family, once fractured, now visited regularly under watchful eyes. Therapy continued, peeling layers like onion skins, revealing motivations, Mom's unresolved grief from a lost sibling, fueling favoritism, Dad's stoic facade hiding vulnerability, Ashley's insecurity masking as superiority. Incidents lessened. When Lila bragged once, Ashley corrected, we're all equals here. Progress felt earned, not gifted. Emma thrived in school, sharing adoption proudly in a class project. Family's choice, she declared, echoing our mantra. Extended kin noticed, invites flowed, but with caveats, all or none. They complied. Horror at past cruelties lingering. Social circles mended slowly. Church friends forgave as Mom volunteered more. Atonement in action. One scorched afternoon, crisis tested us. Ashley's marriage strained, Mark's job loss echoing West Texas oil busts. She called. Broken help.
I invited help. No judgment. Vi talked till dawn.
Vulnerabilities shared. I was wrong about Emma, she admitted. She's tougher than me. Bonds deepened. Drama yielding to empathy. Holidays solidified unity. Christmas under twinkling lights.
Gifts outfell, no disparities.
Dad carved turkey. Toasting. to second chances. Mom baked with Emma. Recipes passed down. Ashley gifted matching necklaces for the girls, sisters forever. Yet, I remained guardian, boundaries firm, like ranch fences against predators. When Dad slipped into old talk, I reminded, change or distance. He adapted, pride yielding to love. Wyatt's first birthday marked milestone. Party vibrant, family contributing equally. Emma led games, confidence blooming. As cake was cut, Mom pulled me aside. Thank you for the chance. I smiled, for Emma's sake and ours. Reflecting under starry skies. Lessons emerged gently. Betrayal reveals truths, but mercy rebuilds. In America's West, where pioneers forged paths through hardship, family too can reinvent, choosing love over legacy, growth over grudge. Peace enveloped us, not perfect, but profound. Emma, once shrunken, now stood tall, knowing her worth. Wyatt grew oblivious to old divides. Logan and I, stronger, savored sunsets. The journey taught, protect fiercely, forgive wisely. Sometimes, the greatest revenge is thriving together, scars turning to strength. In this vast land, family isn't blood, it's the bonds we mend and cherish. Day by resilient day.